Dear student, we are going to start a chapter stereochemistry. So in this chapter, we are going to study what is meant by molecular chirality, element of symmetries. So in that element of symmetries, three element of symmetries are there: plane of symmetry, center of symmetry, and alternate axis of symmetry is there. The next point is chirality of compounds without a stereogenic center. This is new for you. So in that we are going to see cumulins and biphenyls, why these molecules are optically active though these molecules does not have any stereogenic center. So only two compounds are included for your syllabus. So let's begin with what is meant by molecular chirality. So now see here, so basically in the last FY BSc class, if you have studied the basic stereochemistry, in that what is meant by optical activity, what is plane polarized light, how this optical activity is measured with a polarimeter, and what are those compounds which are optically active and why these molecules shows optical activity. So all these points we have studied in the FYBSc. Along with that, you know what is meant by enantiomer, what is meant by diastereomers. So why enantiomers are optically active and why diastereomers are optically active. So all these points are discussed, were discussed in the FY class. So now see, let's begin with this molecular chirality. Now see here, when a molecule contains one chiral carbon atom, suppose a molecule has one asymmetric carbon atom or chiral. So what is asymmetric carbon atom? So now see here, so this is a carbon which is bonded with hydrogen, COOH and OH and this whole group. So this 1, 2, 3, 4. So all these four groups are different. Therefore, the central carbon is known as an asymmetric carbon atom, or it is known as an chiral carbon atom. So this chiral carbon atom, so those molecules which contain asymmetric carbon atom, they exist in two enantiomeric forms, that is in two optically active form, that is dextro and leo form. If I take an example here, suppose this carbon is bonded with H, OH, CH3, COH. So this molecule contains one asymmetric carbon atom. So when a molecule contains one asymmetric carbon atoms, the number of stereo, if we take the mirror of this molecule, then we have these two isomers, one and its mirror image. So those molecules which contain a chiral center, this molecule shows different isomers. Now see here, so 2 raised to n. So if n is nothing but the number of chiral carbon atoms in the molecule, so number of stereoisomers is calculated by use of this equation, that is number of stereoisomers is equal to 2 raised to n. So n is nothing but the chiral center. So only one chiral center in the molecule. So 2 raised to 1 is equal to 2. So number of stereoisomers for this molecule is 1 and its mirror image, that is 2. So by knowing how many number of chiral centers in the molecule, so by use of that we can easily draw or easily say that this molecule has this number of stereoisomers. So when the molecule has chiral center, then it shows, then it exists in two enantiomeric forms, that is it has two optical active forms, one is dextrorotatory form and another is a leo form. So this is because the molecule can be represented by two configurations which bear the relation of object mirror image. If we take the mirror image of this molecule, the another molecule is different than the first one. So when a molecule has chiral center, it shows, we can draw the mirror image of that molecule, and that mirror image of that molecule is different than the first one, or it is non-superimposable with the first. Therefore the molecule has two isomers and it is optically active, and the relation between these two isomer is enantiomer. Uh, However, in case of molecules which contains two or more chiral centers, suppose the molecule has two chiral centers, so in this case this one and this one, these two chiral centers are there, it is found that under certain conditions they exist in optically inactive form. That is, the mesotartaric acid may though it contain two asymmetric carbon atoms, but this molecule is optically inactive, or it is non-resolvable form. So we will see why this molecule will not be resolvable or it is inactive. But at the same time, there are certain compounds. Now see here, we are studying comparatively these three molecules. So in this case, mesotartaric acid, there are two chiral centers, 1 and 1. We know that those molecules which have chiral center, they may show optical activity. But now see here, in case of this mesotartaric acid, though this molecule has two chiral centers, this molecule is optically inactive. But there are certain compounds which do not contain any chiral center, means these molecules does not have any asymmetric carbon atom, but still they exist in optically active form. Means this molecule, though it has chiral center, it is optically inactive. But there are certain molecules which does not have any chiral center. For example, in case of biphenyl and allenes, these molecules show optical activity. So the presence of or absence of chiral center is not a sufficient condition for optical activity. So initially we know that to show the optical activity, the molecule should have a chiral center. But if you see these examples, that is molecules which have chiral center but they are optically active. There are certain molecules which does not have any chiral center, but these molecules are optically active. If you study or comparatively study these two examples, then we come to know that the presence or absence of chiral center is not only a sufficient condition to show optical activity by the molecule. The main criteria for optical activity is that the molecule as a whole must be chiral. Means the presence and absence of chiral center is not an essential criteria to show the optical activity by the molecule. The molecule as a whole must be chiral. It must be non-superimposable on its mirror image. In other words, the chirality of a molecule can be determined by finding whether the molecule is superimposable on its mirror image or not. So to find whether the molecule is optically active or the chirality of such molecules can be determined by finding whether the molecule is superimposable with its mirror image or not. If the molecule, now see here, if the molecule and its mirror image are non-superimposable, then the molecule is chiral or dissymmetric. But if all the atoms and bonds in the molecule and its mirror image superimpose with each other, then the molecule is achiral. So this is the most important line to understand the stereochemistry of molecules which does not have any chiral centers. That is, if a molecule and its mirror image are non-superimposable, then the molecule is chiral. But if all the atoms and bonds in the molecule and its mirror image are superimposed with each other, then the molecule is achiral, means optically inactive. The most satisfactory way to do this would be to construct a model of the molecule as well as its mirror image. So by studying such molecules, we will come to know that the chirality, for the chirality, asymmetric carbon is not an essential criteria to become an optical active. Now we are going to see what are the factors because of that the molecule is, though molecule contains chiral center, but it is optically inactive. So the point is element of symmetry. If you come to know, in the last FY class we have studied this point also, but I will take this revision here also. Now see here, if a molecule has any one of the symmetry, that is if the molecule has plane of symmetry, or it has center of symmetry, or an axis of symmetry is present in the molecule, then that molecule is optically inactive. So optical activity depends upon the symmetry of molecule. If the molecule does not have any element of symmetries, that is it does not shows any plane of symmetry, does not show center of symmetry, does not shows any alternate axis of symmetry, then and then only the molecule is optically active, otherwise the molecule is optically inactive. If all the elements of symmetry are absent, then the molecule will be non-superimposable on its mirror image, the molecule will be chiral, and hence it will exist in optical active forms. So the most essential criteria to become the optically active is presence or absence of element of symmetries also. So let's begin with the first symmetry, that is plane of symmetry. Now see this tartaric acid molecule CHOH COH. So in this molecule, so if I draw an imaginary line, suppose I am going to draw an imaginary line in between this molecule. When after drawing an imaginary line, if molecule or the atoms or groups of molecule on one side and other side are same, then that molecule contains a plane of symmetry. Now see the definition here. A plane of symmetry is an imaginary plane that passes through a molecule such that atoms or groups on one side of plane form a mirror image of those on other side. So because of this, the molecule possesses a plane of symmetry. This test can be applied to with the tetrahedral molecule or to the plane projection formulas also. Why this? When it will be used, the molecules which contain two or more chiral centers or symmetric centers, then we come to use this plane of symmetry to know whether the molecule is optically active or not. So now see these examples. So this tartaric acid contains two chiral centers. It contains two chiral centers. Its optical isomers can be represented. That is, we know that in the last, just we have seen number of stereoisomers equal to 2 raised to n. So n is nothing but number of asymmetric carbon atoms. So in this case there are two asymmetric carbon atoms that are shown by asterisk mark. So 2 raised to 2 is equal to 4. So this molecule, that is tartaric acid, has 4 stereoisomers. Okay, we can draw here. So now see here the Roman 1 and Roman 2. So these are the two stereoisomers just have shown here, and the third one is here. So I will explain why the fourth isomer for this tartaric acid is not there. Okay, now see here the Roman 1st and Roman 2. So this molecule has asymmetric carbon atoms. If I draw the mirror image of this molecule, it gives second molecule. So if I put the second Roman molecule on the first, it is non-superimposable. Therefore, the Roman 1 and Roman 2 molecules are optically active molecules because the mirror image of these isomers are non-superimposable. Now see the third molecule, that is the OH and OH on the right hand side. If I draw the mirror image of this molecule, suppose OH, H, COOH, OH, H, COH. If I rotate this molecule at 180 degree, then the structure of this molecule is similar to the Roman third. Therefore, for a tartaric acid, there are only 3 stereoisomers are possible because of the presence of same chiral centers in the molecule. When the molecule has 2 chiral centers but these 2 chiral centers are same, then such molecules are optically inactive because of the presence of plane of symmetry. Now see here, if I draw the plane here, so this is the plane, so this structure and this structure both are same here, that is both the structures are similar. Suppose structure 1 and 2 bear the relationship of object and mirror image and therefore represents a pair of enantiomer. Structure Roman third has a horizontal plane of symmetry which can divide the molecule in 2 parts. So such that the upper and lower parts of the molecule are mirror image of each other. Thus, in spite of the fact that tartaric acid contains 2 chiral centers, Roman third does not have molecular chirality. Structure third represents an optical inactive form known as mesoform, and it is optically inactive due to the internal compensation, that is rotation due to one chiral center is cancelled by other. Now see here, the reason they have given here is the mesotartaric acid. In exam they will ask you why the mesotartaric acid, this is a mesoform, mesotartaric acid is optically inactive. Why? Because of the presence of internal compensation, that is rotation done by one chiral carbon is cancelled by another carbon. I will explain you through this example or the structure. See here, so this mesotartaric acid, if I draw this imaginary plane, both are the same chiral centers. So now see here, the rotation made by this chiral carbon is cancelled by the rotation made by this second chiral carbon. Suppose this carbon rotates a plane polarized to the anti-clockwise direction and this carbon will rotate the plane clockwise direction. So when one chiral carbon rotates a plane to the left and one rotates to the right, then finally plus and minus becomes a 0. That is rotation plus, suppose the rotation made by the upper chiral carbon is plus 50 degree, the lower will rotate to the negative side, negative 50, then plus 50 negative 50 will cancel out, and because of that the optical rotation shown by this mesotartaric acid is 0, and because of that the molecule is optically inactive because of the presence of internal compensation. Okay, the second symmetry is center of symmetry. The second one is center of symmetry. A center of symmetry is defined as a point in a molecule from which lines are drawn on one side and then produced to equal distance on the opposite side. So when they produce on opposite side, they meet exactly similar points in the molecule. If you come to know this example here, now see this example here. So this is a imaginary point in a molecule from which I am going to draw an imaginary line. Suppose this is the imaginary line on the one side and the same line is drawn on the opposite side. Then now see here, this line meets COH and this line also meets to the same group. So this line H, H, CH3, CH3 opposite side, H, H. So when an imaginary line is drawn from the center of this molecule, then these lines will meet the same groups or atoms. Then such molecules possess a center of symmetry. This test can be applied only to 3-dimensional structures, particularly to organic molecules which have a ring system only. So this is an isomer of 2,4-dimethyl. So 2,4-dimethyl cyclobutane 1,3-dicarboxylic acid. So 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon. So 2 and 4 methyl groups are there, and at 1 and 3 the dicarboxylic acid group is there. So this molecule is optically inactive because of the presence of a center of symmetry represented by A. So another example of molecule which contains center of symmetry is dimethyl diketopiperazine. So this is a molecule. So now see here, if I draw the central, if I take the imaginary point at the middle of this molecule, if I draw these lines, now see this is a carbonyl group. If I draw opposite to the carbon, again it will meet carbonyl carbon. If I draw carbon, here also the carbon is there, nitrogen is there. Therefore this molecule, that is dimethyl diketopiperazine, is also optically inactive because of the presence of center of symmetry in the molecule. So next one element of symmetry is an alternate axis of symmetry. Now see here, a molecule is said to possess an unfold alternate axis of symmetry if on rotating the molecule 360 by n. So if I rotate the molecule to the 40, 50, 60 or whatever, 360 by n about the axis, and after rotating the molecule is reflected, and that reflected molecule gives, if the reflected molecule is similar to the first one, original molecule, then that molecule possesses a alternate axis of symmetry. Now see this example here. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4 tetramethyl cyclobutane example is there. So initially, so this molecule is rotated by 90. So now see here, so this is the molecule I just rotated. So by rotating this molecule by 90 degree, so this 1 comes here, this 2 comes here, this 3 comes in this side, and 4 comes on the first side. So by rotating this molecule by 90 degree, we will have this molecule, this structure. So we are going to take the mirror image of this molecule, we will have this structure. Then now see and compare the third structure with the first one. If both the structures are similar, so CH3 is here, so in this case CH3 is also on the top. So at the second carbon CH3 is below, and the second carbon CH3 is below. At the third CH3 is on the upper side, CH3 is in the upper side. At fourth CH3 is in the lower, and at the fourth also CH3 is in the lower side. Means the Roman third molecule is just similar to the first one. So what we did here, so initially the molecule is rotated at 90 degree, and that molecule whatever we have, it is reflected on the plane perpendicular to the axis. Then the molecule which we have get, so that molecule is nothing but the first molecule. So when such things that happens in a molecule, then such molecules possess alternate axis of symmetry. Therefore the molecule said possess fourfold alternate axis of symmetry. Because of that, the molecule is optically inactive. So in the next point, we will going to study chirality of molecules without containing a stereogenic center. So now see here, just I will revise what is meant by chirality. If the molecule possesses any one of the element of symmetry, the molecule is optically inactive because of the presence of internal and external compensations. So if the molecule possesses a plane of symmetry, the molecule is optically inactive. If the molecule possesses center of symmetry, the molecule is also inactive. If the molecule contains alternate axis of symmetry, then also the molecule is optically inactive.